What's up, guys, and welcome back to another show. And of course, happy Halloween. It's Halloween right now. Oop, it's October 31st. Happy birthday, Grandma. It's my grandma's birthday. And it's Halloween. Like I said, I just wanted to welcome all 176,479 active BullRush competitors. Welcome to a beautiful October morning, the last day of the month. We have a great show for you. Of course, we are tied with we're not tied yet. It's the 31st day of the government shutdown, but by the time they do their next voting, we'll have been tied for the longest government shutdown in history. If we go one day further, we'll have a new world record for the longest government shutdown in history, or U.S. government shutdown, I guess I should say. We got some big news in Forex, of course, lots of volatility this week in crypto. Fed rate cuts happened, so we saw a lot of volatility, a lot of movement across all markets, especially crypto for that. So we're going to give you all the insights that you need on that. The World Series is underway. We're coming up, I believe, on Game 6. Is Ohtani, is he Babe Ruth? Is he the next Babe Ruth? I think he's better. I think he's smashing these records out of the park, and we're going to give you everything about that. And of course, it's week 9. The glorious Ravens are back and better than ever. We're going to talk about that. So obviously, if you can't tell, the Ravens are my favorite team. So the Ravens are back better than ever. Young Lamar Jackson is back from his injury and absolutely killed it this week. I got a nice parlay that I hit that I'm going to show you, a nice BullRush parlay that I hit that I'm going to show you guys. And lots and lots more to talk about. But let's get right into it. Let's look at a couple of our competitions and see how they're doing right now before we get a little further into it. As always, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, if any of you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the chat. I'll pop it up on the screen. We'll talk about it. If you have any comments, concerns, I'd love to hear them. Actually, before we get right into it, we have a huge discount I want to show you. Hold on. This is going to be a video, but this is literally a 10-second video. It's a really cool animation I want to show you, but we're having a huge discount here for Halloween. So roll the clip. Spooky. That's right. We're doing 70% off. 70% off all prop accounts. You heard that right. All prop accounts. That means whether you're buying a $5,000 prop account or a $200,000 prop account, because it's Halloween and we're celebrating, you're going to get. Look at this. You want funding? Everybody wants some funding. So take advantage of that 70% off. We're probably never going to do that deal. I mean, this is the biggest deal. I think before this, the biggest deal was like 50% off or yeah, our launch deal was 60% off. And that was, we were never going to do that again. And you know, we just saw the uptake. People love these discounts. People love, a book prop. And, you know, like I've said before, we're trying to change the industry here. We're trying to make it better for everyone. And if you don't know, really quick, BullRush is the only A-book prop firm out there. There's no other A-book prop firms right now anywhere out there. And let me make it big so you can see my beautiful face real quick while I talk about this. If you forgot the discount, it's right down here. I'll leave it down here for a little bit. But yes, B-book, A-book, what's the difference? Hey, Davin, I've been trading on prop firms for years. What do you mean there's different kinds of prop firms? Yes, brother or sister, there's a lot of different kinds of prop firms. There's two different kinds, pretty much, right? So you got your A-book and your B-book. B-book is your run-of-the-mill prop firm that you see on the internet, popping up, popping down, denying people payouts, all that. Actually not good stuff, all that bad stuff, right? Then here comes A-book, the shining knight of the industry. We're coming here to change also, if you're wondering what I'm dressed up as for Halloween, it's a BullRush football player. I'm the star quarterback for BullRush. But yeah, the A book is changing the game. Essentially, A book is where we actually put all of your trades to market. So your general run of the mill prop firm, B book, they're taking the other side of each of your trades. If you're profitable, they lose, right? So because they're not putting your trades to market, right? They're taking the other side, which means it's essentially like an online casino, but instead of playing blackjack, you're gambling on whether an asset, a forex, commodity, whatever you're trading is going to go up or down. And it's essentially an online casino because they're taking the other end. If you win, it's one or the other wins. You both can't win, right? A book, we're changing the game here. We are actually partnering up with you. So think of it like a partnership. You purchase a challenge to prove that you actually know how to trade, because obviously we're using real money. So if you lose, we lose a ton of money versus the B-book prop firms. When you lose money, that's when they make money. When you lose, we lose a lot of money. So that's why we have, our consistency rules and all of that stuff. But when you win, we win. So our profit split, it's a true profit split. All the other profit splits, because they're not putting it into market, it's essentially just a discount for them to have to pay you less, right? With our profit split, 75-25, we're actually putting that into the market. So it's real money that you just made because you actually traded in the market. We're taking it here. We're splitting it up. You get 75%, we get 25%, and we're all happy. And the more profitable you are, the better it is. Another great thing about a book prop firm is, we all see these BS rules from all these firms. No news trading, no insert whatever weird trading term or weird rule that they insert. We essentially have, I'm not going to say we have no rules. Obviously, we have drawdown and profit targets and all that stuff. But as far as like banning we're never going to deny your payout, right? First off, never deny your payout, right? The only way you could not get a payout, right? Actually, there's no way. If you're profitable, there's no way that you can get a denied payout, because you can news trade, you can do all that stuff that everybody else doesn't want you to do because they're trying to hinder you from being profitable. The only way you lose your account or lose or not get the chance to be profitable is you hit drawdown. That is it. Drawdown. That is our only rule that can prevent you from getting a payout, is hitting drawdown. So I think that's the biggest thing that sets us apart. Obviously the biggest thing is we actually put your trades into market. So we're the only firm where you're actually trading and not just gambling in an online trading casino. But beyond that, simple terms, use code BOO70 for your biggest discount of the year. You're going to get 70% off all A-book prop accounts. That's if you want to try a 5K account or a 200K account, you're going to get 70% off. So make sure you use that discount. Now, without further ado, let's hop up in the dashboard and see what the BullRush community has cooking up. So right here, you see that beautiful 70% off deal. And again, this is for anybody. So whether you're a new client, a returning client, you've had a prop account, you've had one prop account, or you don't even know what a prop account is, well, you should now because I just explained it to you, but hop in there. This is your one-stop shop. Where's everybody from? Let me know in the chat where you guys are from. I love to hear it. I know we got a lot of people in the USA. We got some people in Africa. We got a lot of people in Africa. We got my boy Master Terrace Ford Best in Trinidad. I believe Trini. He's my boy, my Trini boy. Big ups. And let's hop into this before I keep yapping away. Again, my favorite competition of the week, the crypto weekend competition, happening today at 5 o'clock. It's starting. So 8 hours and 20 minutes. That's a free competition. If you don't want to just sit on your hands all weekend and do nothing, you can hop in this. This is free. First place gets a 5K prop account. Again, if you don't want to, you're really tight on money right now, you don't even want to take advantage of that 70% off killer discount, hop in there, hop in the crypto trading competition. If you catch some volatility this weekend on crypto, which we're about to talk about, there's a lot of, you might actually win that 5K prop account. Let me get a little sip. Next up, we got our Profit Sprint. That's the other one. Oop, I didn't mean to open it up in another tab. The Profit Sprint is the other one I wanted to talk about. This is actually, so crypto trading is my favorite, right? Just because I love crypto. But as far as like how cool it is, this starts November 2nd, so we got a little bit of time. Everybody likes to hop in this last minute, but this is the coolest one. So it's $4.99 to join, right? And we're giving away 10K, 5K, and 5K prop account. The cool thing about this is it's not just who gets the most amount of profit, right? Because you're always going to get that one guy in there that's YOLOing, or he just gets really lucky and hits a position where he's like plus 50% or something like that. Remember, you're not going to, we're actually a real trading platform that's realistic. So you're not going to see like some of these other trading competition platforms where you see 5,000, 2,000, or even 200% returns, because it's not realistic. This is realistic. We have realistic rules, realistic leverage. Everything is realistic here. So, you know, it's not who gets the highest percentage. It's who gets to, let me just double check. I believe it's 10%. Yes. So whoever can hit a 10% profit target the fastest. I believe last week, if you look at last week's profit sprint competition, oh, it's still going. But this one I'm talking about. 1 second here. The guy who won last week did it like stupid crazy. I believe it was like 30 minutes or something like that. I'm trying to. Oh, sorry. Computer just froze. Oh, there you go. It's not there. Oh, I think it's actually still going on. 10:20. What's today? Yes. Okay, so this is the one I'm talking about. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's only 3 people remaining. Yeah, look at this. 30 minutes. Big dog got it in 30 minutes. He got 10% in 30 minutes. Second place is third place. There's actually not a third placer right now. Everybody else has been disqualified. So technically, if you hop in there and you get 10% and just don't get disqualified, you're gonna win, man. And if you get before 32, and you're gonna win what is it? 10%. Sorry, I'm prizes. You're gonna win a $5 basic 2-to-1 challenge, which means you can turn essentially your $5 here into $15. Also, if you get it before 32 minutes, you could get that 10K A-book challenge. Let's hop into single rounds, and then we're going to get into some news here for you. So right now we have our sports competition. This is active until, oh, that's weird. Oh, sorry. Sports practice arena. This is the one that's starting soon that you definitely want to hop into. It's only $1.99 to enter, and we're giving away $100 in cash prizes, $50 to first place, $30 to second place, $20 to third place. That means if you hit third place, that's a 10x of your money. Second place is a 15x of your money, and first place is a 25x of your money. You do not want to miss this. It is our cheapest competition. I mean, obviously, besides free competitions, and it is one for the ages. I mean, I love this competition. I love all these competitions. They're all my little babies. One thing that I've been seeing more and more people actually taking advantage of. First off, remember that you can still build your own competitions, and you can do that for sports or trading. So whether you want to build your own trading competition, oh, what's up, Desmond on Facebook? I forgot we even stream on Facebook. But so beyond that, what I was saying, yes, you can build your own competitions. You can build your own trading competitions, whether you want to just do it with your friends for free and do a and not take it. Obviously, you can take a rake if you build the competition, but you could do it for free. Everybody puts in $10. You get 10 friends. It's $100 prize pool, and yeah, just see who is the best trader. You can also do it for. Whoop! I clicked on the wrong one again. Oh, sorry, wrong button. You can also do it for sports. So if you got whether you're an influencer and you have a Discord, or you have a group of friends who are all sports picking or sports betting, you can go in here, pick your duration, pick your starting balance, drawdown. Of course, like I said, if you're doing it with your community and you're an influencer, you can choose to take a rake up to 23%. That means, for example, like I said earlier, if you charge $10, you're going to get $2.30 for each person that enters. Of course, you can choose a payout structure, and you can choose the minimum number of picks, and of course, what sports, what leagues, even. You can get real granular with this. With how you do these and how you set these up. Now I wanted to show some other stuff. Let's get into some news here real quick. I have a sports pick. I have my parlay of the week. It's already done, so you can't tail it. I just want to show off. So I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. But before we get going on that, whoa, what happened here? All right, we're back. Sorry. Real quick, give me 30 seconds here, and we're gonna be right back here. Oh, we're back. All right. Sorry about that. My camera overheated. This is how you know it's a real live show. My fat foot unplugged the fan for the camera when I was stepping over it when we first started the show, and it seems like the fan was not running, so the camera overheated. So blame these clobber knockers. I got these Nike SB dunks, the SB dunks. So they're pretty chunky dunky, as the phrase goes. What we were about to show, though, was geez, why is my screen, my whole computer is frozen? Can everybody see me? Good morning, BullRush family. Good morning, Master Terrace Ford. I'm sorry. Good morning, Master Terrace Ford Best. How are you doing? My number one employee. No, he is our. He's my best buddy. He's my best friend. Out of you're right. Where are you from? You're from Trini, right? Trinidad? No, I might be wrong. I believe you're from Trinidad. If that's wrong, correct me, Master Tears for Best. I have a bad memory with places, but shout out, big ups to you. Great seeing you here. Let me know if you can still hear me, see me. Everything looks good. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. For some reason, my stuff doesn't want to work here. My computer's a little bit glitchy here, but why is it doing that? But again, before we get into the news here, we're going to keep it going now. Before we get into the news, I just wanted to show you this discount again. Like that. Make sure you take advantage. Oh, why did it? There you go. Make sure you take advantage. Boo 70. I'm telling you, this is the biggest discount we're we've ever ran and we're ever probably going to run. But Boost 70 for 70% off your 70% off any prop account between 5K and 200K that you would like. All right, without further ado, let's get into some news because I want to get this going before we get any other issues here. So also, by the way, before while I do this, I want to make sure I have this graphic up here because this is crazy. So we're going to talk about the government shutdown, and while I talk about the government shutdown, I just want to show this graphic. Or actually, I guess we can show it right after I talk about it. Yes, Trini. Big ups to my Trini fam. How are you doing, brother? I've always wanted to go there. Actually, I have a, believe it or not, living in South Florida here, I have four of my friends are Trini. So big ups. I love you guys. I love your food. Definitely want to come down and visit you one day. I know you said you're going to come up and visit here one day. Chapter, I know you were here last week. Great seeing you back again, Chapter. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Where are you from, Chapter? It's always great seeing new people. And then, yeah, definitely take advantage of that discount. 70% off is wild. I'm telling you, wild. If I'm telling you what, I tell you what. Oh, I have the wrong discount here. Yeah, 70% off is wild. I am definitely going to be taking advantage. Chapter, let me know where you're from. I always like knowing where all our people are from. I know we have some people in India. We got a few people in UK. Romania is another place that we get some people that view us. But let's get into the government shutdown. I know I keep yapping on over here. If you guys watch this show and you ever want me to shut up and get on with the news, let me know in the chat. Just say, hey, Davin, you're rambling on a little bit too long. So let's get into the news. Day 31 of the government shutdown and still no end in sight. The Senate has adjourned until Monday, guaranteeing that the shutdown will stretch into at least its 34th day, tying the longest in U.S. history. While lawmakers say there's cautious optimism about bipartisan talks, Thursday brought no real progress and no vote on the House's temporary funding bill. Senate Majority Leader John Thune told CNBC that more behind-the-scenes conversations are happening and hinted next week's elections could finally push a deal forward. But the pressure is building. Funding for food stamps under the SNAP program runs out on Saturday, leaving more than 42 million Americans at risk of losing benefits. Yeah, it's really affecting a lot of people. Pull up the graphic here like I was talking about. So December 2018 was actually the last time we had a government shutdown like this. And I remember this. I remember near the end of the shutdown there, where we really started seeing issues was obviously a lot of government workers. I have family that work in the military. Their paychecks were on hold. I know I talked to my brother here recently. He was talking to me about how paychecks could be. I think their next paycheck is on the 1st, so tomorrow. And he honestly doesn't know if he's going to get it or not. I guess he'll find out tomorrow. But if he doesn't, there's no more paychecks until whenever the government comes back, right? And they still have to work. Now, for my family members who are in the military, it's a little bit of different. They can't just stop working. That's actually illegal because they have contracts. The military set up weird, so you have to, once you have a contract, if you leave, it's like abandonment. There's a word for it. I forgot. Desertion, whatever you want to call it. So he's locked in without pay for as long. But I remember last time back in 2018, we were having issues with TSA, and I know we're having issues now where TSA workers, or not just TSA, but the air traffic controllers is a big one. We had a huge strike on air traffic controllers where they just said, you know what, we're not gonna work. There's also dock people, as far as like not the dock hands, but like the customs and border patrols, things can't go through and get cleared. We're seeing, actually, I just saw a video on last night, national park services are closed, right? So what that means is most national parks are still open, but there's no park rangers to actually patrol and make sure things are going good. So what are you seeing is a lot of these big national parks, especially Yosemite, I was seeing people are going there and they're camping in places they're not supposed to, messing up the nature. They're going and they're dirt biking, four-wheeling. They're having a really big issue in Yosemite with people base jumping, just going in there and doing base jumping. And in the past, when there's officers and stuff, people do it super early in the morning, super late at night, and run away right when it's done, get into a car, escape. There's a whole thing. Now they're just doing it blatantly in the open, which, I'm not no Karen here. Like, I don't care. Do it. Like, it's whatever. Like, obviously, don't mess up nature. If you're not affecting nature or anybody else, do it. You're just risking your life. But, they're just base jumping and they're doing it broad daylight. And it was kind of crazy watching just all these people. I mean, I think there's more people in national parks now than there have been in the last few years, which, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? People are actually going into nature. So, that's pretty good. That's always a good sign. Let's just hop into some more global Forex news while we're on the topic here. So, global currency markets saw big swings this week, led by moves in the US dollar and the Japanese yen and the British pound. The dollar confirmed after Federal Reserve cut rates, but signaled caution about future policy. Traders have scaled back bets on more rate cuts this year, keeping the greenback on solid footing. Meanwhile, the Japanese yen, which had been sliding, regained some ground, rising to 154 to the dollar after Tokyo's inflation data came in stronger than expected. Finance officials also warned they're closely watching foreign exchange volatility, and in London, the pound weakened as concerns grew over Britain's widening fiscal gap, estimated to be nearly £20 billion ahead of next month's autumn budget and a key Bank of England meeting. Lots of movement. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Lots of movement there. Lots of crazy, really cool, exciting things happening in Forex there. Yeah, I think I saw another. Let me pull up my other article I had here about Japan. It was the Bank of Japan's. I don't want to mess up his name. That's why I just want to go back and look. Where are we at here? Here you go. Nope, this crypto. There you go. Let me open this up. Let me open up this article here real quick. Yeah, so Japan's finance minister, actually, just a little bit more about the Japan thing, because we saw a lot of rising and a lot of positive movement in the Japanese yen. So Japanese Minister of Finance Satsuki Katayama on Friday said that the government has been monitoring foreign exchange movements with high sense of urgency. Her strongest comment on currency since the assuming the role last week, as the yen sits at a 9-month low. But we saw a big, small recent spike. We've been recently seeing one-sided rapid moves. Katayama said that at a regular news conference, the government had been monitoring with a high sense of urgency excessive fluctuations and disorderly movements on the currency market, including those driven by speculators. She also said the government is... Yeah, she essentially is flagging concerns, saying there's a lot of movement, a lot of people betting on essentially whether it's going to go up or down. So, take everything. This is what I'll say. Weird times in investing right now. Take everything with a grain of salt. There's a lot of artificial movements, a lot of artificial pumping, a lot of artificial dumping. And, don't look at something and think that's the buy all end all signal of this is going to moon to the moon, or this is going to drop down to the floor. Nothing is final. We can do a quick commercial and then we'll talk a little bit about crypto here. Sorry, I don't know what's going on here with my stuff.
Welcome to BullRush, the ultimate arena where competition meets strategy. Challenge your friends in fantasy sports picking competitions where every decision counts. Prove you really know the game by climbing the leaderboard, outsmarting your rivals, and locking in bragging rights. It's a battle of instincts, strategy, and sports knowledge. Ready to make your picks? Get ready for BullRush. Visit bullrush.com today. Are you in?
And we're back. We got a quick little story about crypto. Not a lot going on, but of course we're gonna look at that, and we'll hop into some charts. We'll look at a little bit of charts. All you guys here for sports, don't worry. We got a huge segment going on about sports. If I'm gonna say this crypto segment's probably gonna last maybe 5 minutes, and then we'll be on to sports for the rest of the show. So stay in there, stay tuned, and let's get into some of this crypto news. So after another volatile week, I also want to say sorry if you seem that I'm like squinting here. I have a little, obviously I'm not gonna remember all this information and stats and numbers and all this stuff in my head. I have a little teleprompter right there, and I forgot my glasses at home, so I am blind as a bat. I may be 27 years old. Magic number, knock on wood. I may be 27 years old, but I have terrible eyes. I got the eyes and the body of a 50-year-old. So bear with me if you see me squinting. This mic keeps falling down. If you got suggestions for mic stands, put them in the chat as well. I'd love to hear them. I need a new mic stand. This one absolutely sucks. What did he say? Okay. Nice. Well, nice to see you there, Chapter. Another friend, another person that is part of the BullRush fam. Welcome home, and welcome to the future of trading and sports picking. Like I said, you're finally with the first and only prop firm that is booked. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I always would like. Let's give it let's give a round of applause for all of our amazing first 100 and what did I say before? Because it's probably updated now. Let me look at the website real quick, because I said 176,479 BullRush competitors. We now have 176,487 BullRush competitors, and let's give a big round of applause to the biggest, the number one. I believe he's on the total leaderboard as well. Master Tourist for Best, and our newest weekly watcher. He watched last week. He's in here this week, and he's going to get a BullRush A-Book prop account, and he's going to be probably one of our top traders on that BullRush A-Book prop account, because I can just feel it. Let's give a round of applause to Chapter and Master Tourist for Best. So I got this new soundboard. And I just love clicking on it and using it now. So you guys are gonna have to stick with me and just deal with that, because I'm not getting rid of it. That enter that Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. I always think that's funny. So another volatile week in crypto markets, with major headlines shaking both prices and payment industry. Bitcoin fell towards the $110,000 mark after the Federal Reserve's latest rate cuts. Traders appear to sell the news, taking profits after weeks of strong gains. Despite the pullback, analysts say that long-term uptrend remains intact. The volatility is likely to stay high. Meanwhile, in traditional finance, MasterCard is reportedly finalizing a $2 billion acquisition of crypto settlement platform Zero Hash. The deal would mark a major step toward integrating blockchain settlements into mainstream payments, allowing institutions to process and settle digital asset transactions directly through MasterCard's network. This is huge. And the reason I put these two, there's a good reason I put both of these two stories together, is we get a negative about Bitcoin and then we get a positive. Again, more of these institutional, let me go back to the screen. The more that we get these institutional, the more that we the more that we get these technology is not my shit, not my thing today, but the more that we get these institutional companies and firms and just institutions to hop into crypto, not even necessarily Bitcoin, but just go into crypto and start being active, making waves, innovating is more value behind the behind Bitcoin. We don't see, more people doing this with the dollar. We don't see more people doing this with gold. I mean, actually, I am seeing people do this with gold. One thing with gold is even gold is getting integrated into crypto now. They're making gold tokens. They already have gold tokens, but I know with what we talked about the other week with Coinbase acquiring that one real world. I'm blanking on the name of the company right now, but they acquired that one real world asset crypto company where they're tokenizing real world assets. That's huge. MasterCard getting into it. Just imagine where a day where I pull out my MasterCard. I have a MasterCard where I can pull out my MasterCard, and I don't know how, but maybe, it has the chip. Maybe each side has a chip. One chip is for your regular credit card. The other chip is for a crypto credit card that automatically gets paid off with your crypto. So that way you hold your debt in USD and pay it off with crypto. Something that I've been saying forever. Hold your debt in USD, hold your debt in the asset class that is just getting inflated and losing value, and hold your wealth in an asset class that is gaining value year over year. Doesn't necessarily have to be crypto. I just think Bitcoin is the best, obviously, right now out of all the options. Because, obviously a house, you need hundreds of thousands of dollars to start off with. Yes, crypto, Bitcoin right now is $109,000, but you don't need $109,000 to invest. You can just get $1,000 into it, $100, $10 into it. Anything is a start. But I think this MasterCard thing, I don't know exactly how they're going to, I mean, it's going to allow institutions to process and settle digital asset transactions. I don't know how that's going to implement into the, MasterCard. If it's going to be a separate card, they're going to release a Bitcoin card. However they do it, I think this is great. I think I really hope that they allow us to hold debt still in USD and it's just some payoff thing or something like that. But I think this is going to be really, really big for the industry. And I think, kind of tying these two news pieces together. The first one is essentially just letting you know that Bitcoin right now, if you're looking at this price, Bitcoin right now is pretty much a Black Friday. Well, we have Black Friday next month in November. Bitcoin's pretty much on a big Black Friday sale. So scoop up crypto. My biggest issue with investing right now is I don't have enough cash to, if I had more money to put in, I'd put more money in, but I'm putting as much disposable income as I can, not just into Bitcoin. Obviously, still have my traditional, IRAs. I hate 401ks, but I have my, all my traditional IRAs and all that good stuff. But I mean, boom shakalaka. What more can you want? And we're back. So who's ready for some sports news? We got some really good sports news. Like I said, we got world news. We're going to talk about world sports news. And then we're going to talk about world sports news. And then we're going to talk about the NFL team BullRush. Watch, you might see a BullRush. This might actually be a real jersey one day. We might buy an NFL team and make it the, Miami BullRush. I don't know. Who knows? But one more quick commercial, and then we're going to get into sports, and we're going to close out the show with a good 15-20 minutes of sports.
Imagine trading crypto, Forex, commodities, and more with the best prop firm in the game. No denied payouts, no BS rules, just fast funding and hassle-free withdrawals. Trade with freedom, get paid on time, and finally focus on what matters, winning. Ready to get funded? BullRush is more than a platform. It's your stage to trade, compete, and get funded like never before. Get ready to unleash your potential. Get ready for BullRush. Visit bullrush.com today. Are you in?
On that, by the way, anybody see that Chauncey Billups stuff that happened? Crazy. I just listened to a podcast about that. What is his name? Chauncey Billups and who was it? Chauncey Billups. Oh my gosh, how am I? what was his name? Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I forgot that. Terry Rozier made like $23 million in a year. That's what he was making in the NBA. Chauncey Billups was making $7 million a year. Both of their salaries have been pooled for until the completion of this investigation. One interesting fact about that is, first off, Terry Rozier, I don't know how much Chauncey Billups made. We don't really know with the poker and all that, but with the sports betting with the NBA, Terry Rozier, they say he made tens of thousands of dollars, which means he made less than $100,000. His NBA yearly salary was trying to look at it, but somewhere in the 20 million range. I think it was like 23 or 24 million dollars. That's being held until the end of the investigation, right? Which he only gets it if he's innocent, right? Terry Rozier, right? So he just risked 20 something million dollars for under 100. Let's be very conservative and say 95. Let's just say 100 grand. He risked it for 100 grand, right? Not worth it. Insane, right? And most likely he'll be guilty, but I don't know, anything could happen. I mean, I think I was listening to this talk about this whole situation, and I think one interesting thing that happened and a point was, I mean, the only thing that I think that really makes him look guilty here is that everybody who was sports betting and placing those unders on Terry Rozier showed up to his house after the game with cash and paid him out, right? Obviously, that's a pretty taking that out though. I think it's kind of a weird thing with these player props, because if I'm an NBA player and I'm let's say I play on the Lakers and I see LeBron James, limping a little bit in the locker room, and I'm like, he's probably not going to play tomorrow or something. And I go hang out with my buddy and we're just shooting the shit, talking. And I'm like, yeah, man, like LeBron, I was talking, he's hurt, and I'm just talking to him, or I'm hurt, right? Let's say I'm like, yeah, man, I'm not feeling too good. Like, I really want to play tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Just venting, just talking to a friend. And then he goes tells a bunch of like sports bettors in a Discord or something like that, and they all place the under on me, and he's right. Am I in the wrong? Am I not allowed to talk about my thing? It's a weird situation, but moral of this is, which I thought was crazy, is yes, he's not getting his 20 million until after the case. If he's found guilty, he's not getting it all, but if he's found innocent, he'll get it. Chauncey Billups, $7 million. He's not getting that until the end of the case. And if it goes beyond 1 year, which if we know federal cases, they're typically 2, 3, 4, 5 years long sometimes, he's not getting it. So Chauncey essentially can kiss his $7 million payout goodbye. Terry Rozier, not so much. And there's 32 co-defendants. 32 co-defendants. Insane. I thought the last thing I'm going to say about this is I thought Rozier's attorney said Rozier is not a gambler. That was his defense. He's like, it's not a gambler. Well, the way I look at it is what he did wasn't gambling, because he bet on himself and he knew what was going to happen because he bet on himself. So it's not really gambling. It's more just investing in an outcome that is going to happen. So that is, I just thought that was funny. He's like, it is, guys, Rozier's not a gambler. He didn't gamble. He kind of just bet on something that he knew was going to happen. Like, that's like me saying, like, betting on, like, will Davin wear a Red BullRush football jersey in the live stream today, and then I bet on that, and then I go put on the jersey, and I'm like, oh, I'm here, like, give me my money. Like, that's not betting. I just someone paid me essentially to do something. But very interesting. I thought that was funny. But let's get into the real news, because we already talked about that last week. I just saw those updates and I wanted to put my little 2 cents into it. So excuse me. So we start in the NBA, where Victor Wembanyama, sorry, I can't say that name, explosive start to the season has the league buzzing. The Spurs rookie phenom has, sorry, I don't know why I said rookie. Let's just start that again. Victor Wembanyama's explosive start to the season has the league buzzing. The Spurs phenom has been so dominant that the NBA officials are reportedly making adjustments in how referees handle his games. a response to his unprecedented combination of size, skill, and mobility that's left opponents stunned and highlight reels overflowing. Meanwhile, Denver, Nikola Jokic reminded everyone why he's a perennial MVP favorite, posting a triple-double with 14 points, 15 assists, and 14 rebounds as the Nuggets crushed the Phoenix Suns 133-111 in their home opener. And in Major League Baseball, an instant classic. I mean, it's been a classic. The Los Angeles Dodgers outlasted the Toronto Blue Jays 6-5 in 18 innings, tying the record for the longest game in World Series history. Both bullpens were stretched to their limit, but it was the Dodgers who finally broke through, keeping their championship hopes alive in what fans are calling an all-timer. I mean, that was absolutely insane. I think it went to 3 a.m. Remember, I told you I'm like an old man, so I was definitely not able to stay up. I was definitely not able to stay up here. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up an image here for you. Where is it? This is what I was trying to pull up. Here you go. All right. Well, I can't find the image. I was going to try to compare Babe Ruth, but and Shohei Ohtani. I always mess up his name, but I was going to try to compare him. But let me know in the chat. What do you think? Do you think Shohei Ohtani is the greatest of all time? Do you think that he is? Do you think he's better than Babe Ruth? My opinion, it's not even comparable. Yes, look at the stats. There's some stats that Babe Ruth has better stats. There's a lot of stats that Shohei Ohtani has better stats in. But I think overall, it's a completely different time. I think Babe Ruth pitched at like 90 miles per hour when he was pitching, even though he's a batter. Ohtani's pitching at 100 miles per hour. And also look at the like flip side of it. Look at like the batting, right? The average pitch was like 90 was a bomb back then, right? Now it's like dudes are pitching 110 mile per hours like it's nothing. I don't think it's even comparable. Before we keep going, we got a bunch of comments here from Master Chairs for Best. Always good. Let's read them. Amazon's earnings %. Amazon and Apple released a combination of positive figures and optimistic outlooks last night, rising 13% and 3% respectively in after hours trading. This surge is masking lingering concerns about how liquidity and tensions in the repo market. If this situation doesn't correct, a sustainable trend is unlikely. Powell's stance on interest rates sets a tone for the DXY, gold, and bonds, while tariffs act as a disruptive risk safe haven factor that complicates the scenario. The Magnificent Seven benefit from low interest rates driven by Powell and weak dollar, but are extremely vulnerable to the uncertainty and costs created by the trade wars. This is completely correct. I mean, we saw this with when we were with doing all the microchips. When there is a shortage on that, we saw that with China when we had the tariff war with them. A lot of these tech companies cannot keep up. I mean, Nvidia. Thank you for Master Chairs for Best for reminding me, because this should have been this should be absolutely. So Nvidia is essentially worth more than two Canadas. It has a $4.6 trillion market cap that they just got this week. Absolutely just bonkers. Like Yeah, absolutely insane. I'm trying to see where this is. Beginning of the year, they're at 1 trillion. So just in 1 year, they got a few $1 trillion. I'm trying to see this one chart. Uh, yeah, Canada's the Canadian economy is $3.6 trillion, which means that 4.6. Oh my God, this is insane. Let me show you this. Oh my God, there you go. Oh my God, these ads. Okay, so essentially the biggest combined market cap of all of these companies: J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, uh, uh, Chiquita, I think, Citibank, Charles Schwab, TD Bank, Capital One. Can't even read these because these are way too small. But all these other companies is 4.2 trillion. Nvidia. So this is all the banks in the U.S. and Canada. So every bank in the U.S. and Canada's market cap is $4.2 trillion, and Nvidia is at 4.6 trillion dollars. Like, that's unimaginable. Like, I can't even it's unfathomable. Like, look at just their economy, 3.9, which this isn't even updated right now. It's 4.6. It's just like, it's just insane. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I mean, look at the just look at the just look at the GDP worth. So what, this is obviously not accurate because it's at 1.79. So this is old. So the new one is 4.6 trillion. So 4.6 trillion. Only Germany, China, and USA have a bigger economy than Nvidia, our biggest company in America. Think about that. So if you live in Japan, India, UK, France, Italy, Brazil, Canada, Mexico, Russia, South Korea, Australia, Spain, Indonesia, Turkey, Netherlands, or Saudi Arabia, all of those have smaller GDPs than the market cap of Nvidia. $4.6 trillion. Just unfathomable amounts of money. I mean, this just goes back to, I saw a post that was talking about how essentially the entire U.S. economy is built on just 7 companies moving money around: Nvidia, Apple, Google, SpaceX, Tesla, Meta, and there's one more I can't think of. But essentially, those companies, it's just built on those companies moving stuff around. BlackRock, obviously, is one of them, and Vanguard is another one. I mean, it's just essentially those companies. That is the U.S. economy. One more comment from Master Terrorist Ford Best, and then we're gonna hop into NFL news finally. So the crypto landscape is shaping to be very interesting, and some good fresh lettuce. Sure, fresh lettuce. I like it. Yeah, crypto, I think, is absolutely going to boom. I think if you're buying it right now, it's not too late. I think my advice would be, if you're buying crypto, stick with the big ones, right? Stick with, honestly, if you're buying crypto and you want to just be as risk averse, you just want to stay away from risk as much as possible, buy Bitcoin and treat it like an IRA. Hold it in there for 5-10 years minimum. Don't buy if it goes down. I don't think it would happen, but for some reason, if at the end of the year or in a few months, or even if in a year, for some reason it just drops down to $80,000 or something like that, which I don't think it would drop that low, $70,000, $80,000. Don't sell. Don't be like, oh my God, it's the end of. No, don't sell, because guess what? It'll go back up. If anything, buy more. The best is cost average buying, right? So if you put in like $100 every week or $100 every month into Bitcoin, you'll be profitable no matter what. So whether it goes down or up, you're putting $100 a week, $100 a month, you're gonna be good. I think it was like, I saw a stat that was like, if you put $100 into Bitcoin every week or something like that since 2017, now you would have a few million. So or like 1.2 or $2 million. So it's good. You know, it could work. And that's, obviously the best method for that. So Week 8 and 9 of the NFL season brought no shortage of drama, from gritty performances to rivalry showdowns and key injury updates around the league. First off, Lamar Jackson made his long-awaited return for the Baltimore Ravens after missing time with the hamstring injuries, and he didn't disappoint. Jackson threw for 204 yards and 4 touchdowns, connecting twice with tight end Mark Andrews. Derrick Henry powered the ground game with 119 yards and a score, while Miami's defense self-destructed and plagued by penalties, drops, and turnovers in a 28-6 loss. Let me pull up this little quick parlay that I had, this BullRush parlay here. I placed it on BullRush. I placed it everywhere I could, actually. This is a screenshot I had. I did under 55 points. Zay Flowers over 49.5 receiving yards. Derrick Henry over 74.5 rushing yards. Lamar Jackson over 1.5 touchdowns, and then Baltimore Ravens minus 6.5. This Baltimore Ravens minus 6.5 I got from my good friend Dan Leach. He said this was a lock. He said they were going to win by 20, which was crazy because they won by pretty much by 20. This one was mine. Lamar Jackson over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I figured this was going to be his first time back. Miami's, pass defense is dog shit. So I figured he was going to at least get 2 passing touchdowns. These two were my biggest gambles. This one, I really thought that, it wasn't going to be a high-scoring game. I knew that we were going to run it up on them. I knew the Ravens were going to run up the score on them. I really had faith that our defense was going to stop Miami, so they weren't going to run it up that much. And I didn't think, obviously I thought we were going to stay under that 55 score. These two were honestly scary by halftime. They were not hit. Zay Flowers is actually way lower. I think he was like 13 yards by halftime. Derrick Henry is around 40 yards by halftime. And I was a little worried because sometimes it's 50-50 with some of these player props. Is like, sometimes they just don't get played, or Zay Flowers might not get passed to, especially with some of these other really good players that we have. And Derrick Henry sometimes he rushed. There's been games where he rushes for almost 200 yards in a game, and then there's games where he rushes like 13 yards. So that was really a gamble, but we hit it. We got a nice little 445, and it was a beautiful little night. I think the Ravens are back, and I think they're going to make a documentary about them one day, because the greatest comeback in BullRush. The exchange has reasons for a terrible fall since its launch. Context, Master Chairs for Best, don't really know exactly what you're talking about, but let's get into more NFL news here real quick while Master Chairs for Best clarifies that. So oh my gosh, sorry. In Carolina, veteran Andy Dalton revealed he played through a fractured right thumb in the Panthers' 49 defeat to the Bills. Despite completing 16 of 24 passes, Dalton threw 1 interception and lost 2 fumbles. The team expects Bryce Young to return under center next week. Now, all eyes shift on Week 9's marquee matchup, the Chiefs versus the Bills. Both teams sit near the top of the AFC standings, with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes once again headlining the heavyweight clash. Kansas City's offense has caught fire since Week 4, averaging over 415 yards per game. I tell you what, my fantasy lineup loves Patrick Mahomes right now. I'm glad he's in like 20% of my things. And in Minnesota, the Vikings released a long injury list before facing Detroit. Cornerback Jeff Okudah and tight end Josh Oliver were limited, but J.J. McCarthy is expected to start as a full participant in practice. A key boost for a 3-4 team trying to keep pace with the 5-2 Lions. If you had to ask me, I would probably take either the Lions money line or the point spread, depending on where it is. If it's at a nice, minus 3.5 or minus 6.5, I think I would take the Lions money line. Now, for the end of our show, I got a nice little quote again. Quote me nevermore, quote the Ravens nevermore. Shout out to the Ravens. I think we're going to go real far here. But just so you don't forget, we have our big deal here. BullRush is the only A-book prop firm out there. If our liquidity provider is Torex, any other prop firm out there says they're A-booked, ask them who their liquidity provider is. If they can't, provide that, they're lying. You can even reach out to Torex. and they'll say, yes, we're the liquidity provider for BullRush's A-book prop firm. Remember to take advantage of this deal. 70% off all prop accounts. No tricks, just treats. Use code BOO70 and get BOO70. That's BOO70 and get 70% off all prop accounts. That's 5K, 10K, 25K, 100K, 200K, 200 million. Just kidding. We don't have a $200 million, but 200K. Any prop account you want. This is a great time to test out our prop. Great time to see how the beauty and the amazingness of A-book trading. Make sure you join our Discord, and you'll see a bunch of, obviously, we post all of our payouts there, payout certificates. We also post them on Twitter. So make sure you follow us on Twitter at BullRush Comp. It's up here. Right up here at BullRush Comp on Twitter, at BullRush Comp on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on all of this. Now, this quote I've heard many different people, so I'm not going to say a person who said it because I've heard it from a few different people and I don't know who the original quote is, but essentially live your life like it's a movie, right? And I've heard this, like I said, from a few different people in a few different ways. So I'm going to say it in my own way. But, I see people, and I see it myself too. Don't worry. I mean, so I'm a social media manager. So I'm on social media all day. So I'm on social media all day at work. And then I go home and I'm on Twitter, scrolling Twitter. I don't use TikTok that much. My big thing is YouTube Shorts, honestly. But I see myself scrolling and then I get home, and I might get home at like 5:30. And then, I start scrolling on YouTube or looking at my shorts or Instagram reels or whatever. And I look at the clock and it's 6:30 or it's 7 o'clock. I'm like, man, I just wasted a whole hour and a half on just scrolling on brain rot, right? And I just think about that quote of like, live your life like your life is a movie and you're the main character, because it's like, if you're watching a movie and you just see some dude sitting on his couch scrolling on TikTok like Brandon, that's boring. Nobody wants to watch that. If you just, if you're watching a movie and he's just sitting there playing video games, he's playing Battlefield 6, as much as I've been playing Battlefield 6 like crazy. Anybody play Battlefield 6 in the chat? Let me know. But, if you just see someone sitting there playing Battlefield 6, you're gonna be like, man, this is a boring ass movie. But if you're going out there and you're going on runs, you're going, snowboarding, skiing, hiking, racing car, whatever you want to do, whatever your passion is, go do it, because that's going to be a lot more exciting to live. And if you're living a life that's exciting to watch, you're living a life that's exciting to live. So my advice is live your life like you're in a movie and you're the main character, because that's how you really get the most out of life. Remember to follow us on social medias at BullRush Comp on most social medias, BullRush_COMP on Instagram, and BullRush Comp on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, all of the above. Make sure you hop in our Discord, become a Diamond member, and you're going to get a bunch of free stuff when you become a Diamond member. Free money, free, prop accounts, all that good stuff. I've had a great show. Happy Halloween, and I will see you next week. Enjoy the weekend and trade hard. Again, shout out to my new two best friends, I already had a best friend, Master Tourist for Best, and Chapter 1 of 1. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys next week.